I've recently discovered that in order to become a world-renowned photographer, you need to pick a genre.
If you want to be a great photographer, then you will not be a generalist.
Instead of trying out the different genres of photography for myself, I decided to watch some YouTube videos and see which genre would bring me the most fame and fortune and look the most glamorous. I stumbled across a video from Luke Clellan that made me realize wedding photography is not only glamorous, but it can make me a fortune.
And I only had so many wedding days available, right? There's just only so many weekends in a summer. And so I realized that I could raise my price a little bit, and then I did a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And I find that's how I got from $1,000 up to $3,000 up to $5,000. It was just these little increments of continuing to shoot weddings. People wanted to book, and so I charged more and more.
What could be better than getting $5,000 to photograph gorgeous brides? But right before I was about to purchase my Squarespace website to start my wedding photography business, I watched this video from Caitlin James that made me realize you have to deal with real people when you shoot weddings.
If Wayne is here, then my parents should be here, and my parents are not here, so should I go get my parents?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
go get them.
Oh, yeah, go get them.
She's changing her dress, so she's probably gonna be a while.
Yeah, definitely. You go ahead.
Oh no, that's not mom. Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
You may be thinking, Caitlin, why is she so mad at you? I don't think she's mad at me. I think she's been drinking, and I don't think she's mad at me. But there was an instance inside where she came, or she yelled up the steps at me, "Where's my purse?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm not the planner." And then she said, "Where is my purse?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm not the planner. I don't have anybody's personal belongings." And that's when I realized earlier in the day, like I think it was the alcohol speaking and not her, because that didn't make sense. She knew I was the photographer.
I wasn't quite ready to settle on wedding photography. I'm a bit of an introvert, and I don't like people yelling at me. Plus, I don't really have a portfolio built up in order to start my website. I decided to continue my research when I came across a video by Jason Vong. He was doing travel photography in Japan with his wife, and it looked so exciting to take photos of cherry blossoms.
I don't know, it's just something about random vending machines with cherry blossom in the park. It just looks amazing. I gotta say, this is like the most cherry blossom I've seen like in a park. It's just so full.
I decided that traveling to Japan to do travel photography would be the perfect life choice for me. Prices of airfare to Japan were a little out of my budget, but I was excited to see that I could get a deal if I went through Spirit Airlines, but then they went out of business. I decided that I'd go to Japan one day, but for now I'd continue to research some other genres of photography. And then I came across a video from Camera Conspiracies where he was doing landscape photography right in the neighborhood. That would be perfect for me with my limited travel budget.
Got purple flowers in somebody's house. I'm risking my life right now. But as part of the photographer's code, just to get the shot, there's a twig in the way, but I've carefully maneuvered it. I'm stopping down the aperture to blow up the background. Tony 6.3. That is stunning.
The purple flowers, while beautiful enough on their own, weren't as beautiful until I obstructed their view with a twig, horizontal in its desires. It's a leading line in its own way, leading you away from the picture into a mystery of green foliage, one of the greatest shots of our time.
I realize so far every shot I've taken has been with the tungsten white balance.
I was confused by the use of horizontal leading lines, so I realized landscape photography might not be right for me until I learned a little bit more about it. At this point, I was wondering if I'd ever find the perfect genre of photography by watching YouTube videos. Then I came across this video from SLR Lounge explaining that certain genres of photography are better suited to certain personality types.
Just be honest with yourself. So here's what I mean. Areas like wedding photography or commercial photography, especially big budget and big production commercial photography, are highly team-oriented areas. You have to be a people person. You have to navigate relationships. Too often, I see wedding photographers become wedding photographers for all the wrong reasons, the reasons that I kind of listed before, which include lifestyle and money. What ends up happening is that I hear things from my peers like, I can't wait until I don't have to shoot weddings anymore. Or, man, I'm so tired of dealing with bridezillas. Or if I have to talk to another mother of the bride, or if I have to... Look, if you are saying those types of things, you have chosen a profession that is not in line with who you are. It's not in line with your value system. And that is the fundamental problem. So if you are highly technical and you don't necessarily want to be in this team environment, you also don't really want to do high pressure environments, product photography is still a great choice. You can have companies send you products, and my friends will actually photograph them in their home on their own timetable. I have a food photographer friend that does this exact thing. I also have landscape photography friends where their client will just send them to a location and they're on their own doing their job. They're told what the images are for, and that's it.
I do consider myself more of an intuitive shooter rather than technical, but I do enjoy being alone, so maybe product photography would be perfect for me. But then I came across this video from Tony and Chelsea explaining that AI might be making product photography unnecessary.
You know where I see this really taking photographers' jobs is like catalog work or any kind of work online, like catalog. I'm old. But also anything on a website where it's just you need to see a shirt in multiple colors. You know, like there's a t-shirt and it comes in 10 colors. Often you only see it like 2 of the colors on models. It'll be easy to just replicate that shirt on the existing model. So I think any type of photographer doing that kind of rote work is probably going to be replaced. And we're already seeing a lot also with like any kind of still life photography, like brand photography. That's stuff where it's going to be even easier to do this.
Food photography is largely replaced by AI now, right?
With my hopes of finding the perfect genre of photography fading fast, Sean Gallagher explained that you'll naturally gravitate to a genre that you enjoy doing.
Now, there are many different genres of photography, from photojournalism to sports photography, macro photography, landscape photography, portraits. There are so many different types. Now, in the early stages of your photography journey, you'll probably want to experiment with all these different types of genres of photography. But eventually, you're going to naturally gravitate towards probably 1 or 2 of these genres, because they're the ones that you particularly enjoy shooting and covering.
I guess instead of watching so many YouTube videos, I should get out there and shoot. After getting some shots of a robin in focus, I decided that wildlife photography would be my perfect genre. I did feel a little deflated with my robin photos as compared to the gorgeous ones of osprey that were featured on Tony and Chelsea, but I decided that wildlife was definitely what brought me the most joy. And then one day a squirrel blocked my path on the sidewalk and I decided to stoop down and get a close-up shot. I was completely enchanted by the expression on the squirrel's face and how it clutched its chest with its little paws. I soon became addicted to squirrel photography. I guess that would be my perfect genre. But then Emily from Micro Four Nerds said something that completely blew my mind. Maybe I didn't have to pick a genre after all.
And the myth that I would like to bust into oblivion is that in order to succeed in photography, you need to pick one particular niche. Now, if you are doing this as a job, then having a portfolio that shows what you do, like if you're a wedding photographer, you don't want to start putting photographs of ducks at your local lake into your Instagram feed. But in terms of progressing as a photographer, I so firmly believe that nothing will progress you further than trying something new. Because when you are a little butterfly of photography, a little tinkerer like I am, I've never found one thing that I'm like, I could do this for the rest of my life, because it's just so much cool stuff to do. What you very quickly start to realize is each genre will teach you something. Like photographing large animals on safari and then small animals like puffins enables me to know inside out the best burst modes for other scenarios, like even something as mundane as a confetti shot. So whatever niche of photography that you want to have a dabble in, it can always give you transferable skills, and nothing will teach you the ins and outs of your camera faster than trying a style of photography that's not what you usually do, because you have to be really on the ball with it and think about things in a way where otherwise you might have like muscle memory.
Whether I stick with squirrel photography or try all the others, I think it's most important to actually get out and use my camera instead of watching YouTube videos. Even though squirrel photography may not bring me fame and fortune, it definitely brings me enjoyment. And that's all I really care about for now. If you like this video, give it a like, consider subscribing for more photography related content from a newbie like me. God bless.